Hey everyone, it's Randi with Rolling Rack Posh, and I just printed out my reports from the Sarah Styles dashboard. This is the sales dashboard. I have the sales and the inventory dashboard, and I wanted to do my first YouTube live of what sold Wednesday. It's the middle of the month, so it's a good time to look at the last 2 weeks and see what sold in the month of June. We did this in March, and it was one of the most watched and viewed YouTube videos on my channel. So I'll do one for June so far. And if I can get consistent with it, I'll start trying to do it every Wednesday, and we can keep current on Bolo brands, be on the lookout brands, and things that are working for me. I'm coming to you from Las Vegas, but I sell on Poshmark, I sell on Mercari, a little bit on eBay, and I also have an Etsy store. So I would say probably 85 to 90% of my sales right now are coming from Poshmark, but Mercari is kind of taking off out of nowhere. So I'm relatively new to reactivating my Mercari account. So you can find me under Rolling Rack Posh on Poshmark and Mercari and eBay as well. So let's get into it. A lot of you guys are new and just signed up because you saw the Sarah Styles YouTube live yesterday about selling on Poshmark versus Mercari. And she also makes these really great spreadsheets. So if you are selling on Poshmark, you can send yourself your Poshmark sales report and then you copy and paste it right into her report. I have it printed out right here. And it'll give you a bunch of really cool graphs and show you what brands you're selling and what was the most profitable, the price point, what sold the fastest, all those fun stats that you need to know about your business. So let's jump into it. So far for the month of June, the most sold brand in my closet for June so far is Starbucks items, believe it or not. Starbucks travel mugs, souvenir mugs that say the locations like Athens, Greece, Paris, France. Those are collector's items. So Starbucks will come out with them and sometimes they'll retire them and people collect them. So tumblers, ceramic coffee mugs, those venti big tumblers with the straws that are hard plastic. There's a bunch of studded ones. You kind of have to do some research to find out which ones sell and resell for a decent price, because typically they're between like 16 and I think 25 new. And if you hold them and they get retired, sometimes they can go up in value. So the ones that I sold were some ceramic, regular, probably about this tall coffee mugs with lids. There's a couple with the handles, and then I did sell some venti tumblers that were the bigger ones. The matte pink, it's like a pale pink, and it's a 2020 cup that came out right around Easter. I don't know if it sold out or what, but I actually bought mine on Poshmark from another reseller, and I paid up for it. I think I paid, if it sold for new, probably like $19.95, I paid $40 for it, and then I sold it for $75. So that kind of gives you an idea if you find the right one. I also know the black matte studded one is pretty popular, and then there's an iridescent smooth tumbler too. So you can look into that and learn about the Starbucks thing. If you know a barista, maybe ask them about it. It took some buying the wrong Starbucks things for a while for me to finally figure out what worked and what didn't. So the most sold items in June were Starbucks mugs and tumblers. The highest dollar amount item that I sold was Kate Spade. So I would have to find out exactly what Kate Spade item that was. I'm guessing shoes, because I have a bunch of Kate Spade shoes that I recently sourced. So it had to have been shoes. Actually, I think they were red patent pointy toe, closed toe, probably 3-inch red patent leather heels. So I do remember selling those. That was actually just a few days ago. I can't believe I forgot that. And there must have been some other Kate Spade stuff in here too. The highest average sale price, Ralph Lauren, but it was housewares. So sets of decorative pillows seem to sell well for me. So if you can find them doing retail arbitrage, new with tags, or even thrifted, if you can find them in sets and you can find a box big enough to send them, then you can sell them as a pair. I usually don't sell one pillow at a time. Sets seem to do better. Same with vintage dishes or mugs. Same with Ray Dunn. I usually try to find them and hold them until I can sell a lot or a bulk deal, because onesies and twosies might not bring me the profit you're looking for. And you also want to make sure you have like bubble wrap or something that you can wrap them with. I actually have a trick. Let me grab something. I want to show you something. If you are selling breakable goods, This is a free way that you can get bubble wrap. We've talked about USPS being free for shipping supplies, and you can get priority mailers. This one is the one, it's not the Tyvek, it actually has the bubbles inside. So what I usually do is I take this and I rip it on the seam on both sides. And then say this is your coffee mug. It's my Bluetooth speaker. I take it and I will literally wrap it in the bubble wrap. And then it's cool because you can just peel this and stick it. If you want to tape the ends, you can do that. And even if you have to use 3 or 4 of these to fill your box, it's a free way to get bubble wrap. So that's a quick tip for you on how to wrap breakables. So, which leads me to my next one. So the highest average selling price was the Ralph Lauren pillows that I sent. And those were actually sourced at TJ Maxx in the clearance aisle. So learn about when yellow tag sale at TJ Maxx is. And then the fastest selling brand was Blue Willow. Blue Willow, I don't have any laying around. I think they're all filed in inventory, but it's basically a vintage ceramic dishware, plates, coffee mugs, tea accessories. And they're white with blue print, and it's usually like an Asian theme. So it'll have like a little China house and like a bird flying in the background, and usually some kind of little farm scene. So that was actually my fastest selling brand. So I listed it and then it sold right away. So I used my little bubble wrap trick on that. So that can help you do that for free. So, all right. And then I have a couple top 10 lists. So these are all slightly different. So top 10 by items sold. So number 10 was a shirt called Jessica, which was actually a donation that I got. And I don't think it's any impressive brand. It's just a normal brand. I'm not even sure where they carry it. Number 9 was Cabby. I kind of stopped picking up Cabby. I feel like it's a little bit of a waste of my time, but I'm finding a lot of the older Cabby, not the newer Cabby. I know some people swear by that, but right now it's not yielding me the profits I want. So unless I find it at the bins, I'm probably passing on it. Aloha Fashion was some donations that I got. I went in the Next Door app and got a bunch of donations at the beginning of COVID when all of the Goodwill stores were closed. So for sourcing, I just wanted to try to see if I could get local donations. And I put up an ad and I picked up a couple garbage bags full of clothes. And then I went through them all and donated what I couldn't sell. And whatever was cute or new with tags or sellable, I listed. So some of these brands are from that. I don't think I would have picked them up normally. Some of the stuff I wouldn't have even picked up at the bins, but since I had it in my possession, I decided to list it. And I got a couple surprises in there. Aloha Fashion, or any fashion that you would go to like ABC store in Hawaii or like a souvenir shop and pick up, like a Hawaiian themed dress. And there was a couple dresses in there that had like built-in bras, or they were stretchable. They had the kind of smocked like top, so it stretched. And I think I had maybe 3 or 4 dresses that said they fit a size XL to double XL. So that made it really easy for people on Poshmark to not be freaking out about measurements and their size because they knew it was expandable. So those dresses actually sold pretty good. So Aloha Fashion was number 8. Number 7 was Rae Dunn. And I told you how I did that. Sometimes I'll go do retail arbitrage, raid the clearance racks, and sometimes I have to sit on the Rae Dunn stuff until I have a couple cool pieces that I can sell together as a lot, because selling onesies and twosies wasn't really cutting it for me. Let's see. Number 6 is Express. Express is like so ridiculous to me. I used to shop there all the time when I was in high school, right? I graduated in 2000. And I don't think of Express as a designer brand, right? But if you go to Goodwills out here in Las Vegas, they're all red tag. And red tag is supposed to be like Guess and Gucci, right? And for whatever reason, Express resells pretty good if you can pick it up at an inexpensive price point, or if you have a lot of Express clothes sitting in your closet. Number 5 seller was Hollister. Number 4 was Tommy Bahama. And every single thing, Jessica, Cabby, Aloha, other than Rae Dunn, Express, Hollister, and Tommy Bahama, all of those that sold, there's multiple items that sold in the first 2 weeks of June, and they were all donations. So that was all pure profit. So although they're brands that I might not normally buy at the store, Tommy Bahama, I would for the right price if it was in good shape, but I wouldn't really pick up Hollister. Aloha Fashion now I might, from what I learned, if it was inexpensive enough. But the other brands I wouldn't really pick up. Express I would at the bins, but I don't even think I would buy Express at Goodwill retail, because even if it's like $4.99, if you're going to sell it, you have to add at least $3 to that. If you sell it for over 10, it's 20% at on Poshmark, so it's almost not worth it. So unless you can stumble upon them like inexpensively at the bins, I would probably pass on that. And then the top 3 I for sure would buy. So number 3 was Kate Spade for top 10 items that sold for the month of June. Number 2 was Vineyard Vines, and number 1 was Starbucks. So this is just by sheer quantity. So multiple of those brands sold. It doesn't mean it was the most profitable. If we're going by total sale amount, there's a different top 10 list. So these are beefed up price points. So the top 10 highest sales that I've had in the first 2 weeks of June. Number 10 is Natori, and it was vintage. So Natori is a lingerie pajama brand. It was a pajama set that I had actually found at Goodwill. So number 10 was that. Number 9 was Victoria's Secret. I still will pick up pink and Victoria's Secret, and I've been finding a lot of vintage Victoria's Secret. That's kind of cool to see. Number 8 was Tommy Bahama, and keep in mind these are highest sales for this month so far. Number 7 was Waterford Crystal. Number 6, right smack in the middle again, is Express. Ray Dunn is number 5. Coach was number 4. There was a vintage Coach bag that I had sold that was pretty cool, and a Coach sunglass case. Sunglass cases, if you can stumble upon them at estate sales or relatively inexpensive for some of those luxury brands, will probably sell, and it might be a good idea to pick them up and hold them, because you may come across you may come across some Coach sunglasses, and you could pair them together. So you would have the sunglasses and you would have the case, and then you could, mark up your profit there. So some items you might need to hold. Number 3 was Ralph Lauren. We talked about the pillows. I also do sweaters, cable knit sweaters from them in the winter, but this is pertaining to home goods. Number 2, Vineyard Vines. Number 1, Kate Spade. So those top couple ones were in the other list as well. So that was by highest sale amount. And then let's see what else. I have an average list. I don't think that's super interesting. A lot of them are repetitive. What else? Okay, so top 10 fastest selling brands. So basically like the shortest amount of days they were listed. We'll start with number 10. It was a jacket by Sweet Rain. Victoria's Secret was number 9. Number 8 was Topshop. Number 7 was Brandy Melville. Number 6 was Lucy. It was some athletic wear tank tops that are a lot like kind of like Fabletics or Lulu quality. Lucy and Zella feel really good. They're awesome quality. I don't know why those don't sell for more. The average price on that sale for the Lucy tank tops was $24, which is okay, but it's not quite up there with the Lulu. Sometimes, just depends. Number 5 was Ralph Lauren. Number 4 was Waterford Crystal. Number 3 was Express. Express goes so fast. People love their Express on Poshmark. Number 2, I was really excited about. It was Bongo. You guys remember Bongo? It was really big in the 90s. And today when I went thrifting, there were a couple Bongo pieces, and everybody that walked by picked it up and looked at it. So I don't know if people remember that and they're nostalgic about it or what. But yeah, Bongo, I think, reminds people of the 90s. And then the number 1 fastest selling brand that I had listed and that went in average days on hand was 5 days was the Blue Willow. So that's the vintage ceramic ware that I was talking about, the coffee accessories, coffee mugs. There was also a tray that I sold too, a serving tray. So, and those I found at an estate sale in Texas. So hopefully that gives you an idea of some Bolo brands. If we're talking dollars, the total sale amount on the number 1 bestseller was $88. So right now, so far, I think for the month, 88 has been my top sale. And the spread on that was pretty good. It was Kate Spade heels, and I think I picked the heels up for like $11. So sorry if you bought the Kate Spade shoes. You're paying me to be your personal shopper. It was still a great deal. I find really good deals. So those shoes new, without me being the middleman shopping, would have been around 120. So even though I'm disclosing what I got them for and what they sold for, the person that bought them still got them for a deal. So, I mean, you're basically paying a personal shopper to go and hunt down good deals for designer brands for you. So that's what's up. And the spread isn't like that on every single item. So you need those big items to help pay for your items and your time and the prep and the photography and the listing and all that for the items that don't have as big of a spread. So it all evens out. You need your bread and butter items and you need your designer items as well. So that is what's going on for What Sold Wednesday for June 16th, 2020. And hopefully we can do more of these videos. Thanks for watching. I hope this can help you guys. If you have any questions or anything to add in the comments below on what sold for you, what was your best sale of June so far? Go ahead and put it in the comments. If you haven't already subscribed, go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you want to go over to Instagram, it's Rolling Rack Posh over there too. If you're on Facebook, if you can look up the groups, I have Poshmark 101 is a public group that's free for everybody. So you can join there too. And we'll talk about how to spot fake bags, all kinds of little tips and tricks, current events, news, things like that I share in that group. So it's just a fun place for us all together. All right. I will talk to you guys later. Thanks for tuning in. Bye-bye.